Mongolia, perhaps the most charming country in the modern world. He's out of the hinterland of Eurasia, surrounded by hundreds of kilometers of land, away from the ocean, the largest area in the world, landlocked countries without access to the sea, theoretically the size of Kazakhstan, much larger than Mongolia. Strictly speaking, it is also a landlocked country. Kazakhstan is on the verge of the Caspian Sea, has nearly 1,900 kilometers of Caspian coastline, via the Caspian Sea and Russia. Azerbaijan, Iran, Turkmenistan conducts maritime trade. On the other hand, Mongolia, no direct navigation conditions for any large waters. Because of this, plus many other factors, Mongolia is the most sparsely populated country in the world. Mongolia has a land area of over 1,50 million square kilometers, ranked 18th in the world by land area. The population is only about 3,30 million. The average population density of Mongolia, only 2,1 people per square kilometer. Of all sovereign states in the world, lowest population density. Mongolia's capital, builds largest city, Ulaanbaatar. The resident population is about 1,60 city size comparable to Barcelona, Spain. Only one city in Ulaanbaatar, about 48% of Mongolia's population is concentrated. This also makes Mongolia a global urbanization, one of the most concentrated countries. Ulaanbaatar occupies only 0,3% of Mongolia's land area, 48% of the population 1,60 million. And the remaining 52%, about 1,70 million population, in more than 99,7% of the country's vast land. Ulaanbaatar's population is highly concentrated, greatly increased the national average population density. If you exclude the regional area of the city, the remaining 99,7% of Mongolia's land, the population density is only 1,1 people per square kilometer. The emptiness is Australia, 3 times that of Namibia, in this vast and empty land. To this day, about 1/3 of Mongolia's population continues to travel, pastoral lifestyle, and the era of Genghis Khan more than 800 years ago. Nothing. So why did Mongolia form and maintain this demographic pattern for a long time? Into the 21st century, what is the reason? Make him the emptiest country in the world. To answer this question, first of all, we must understand the geography of Mongolia. With climatic conditions, most of Mongolia's territory, located on the high Mongolian plateau, located in the highlands of Central Asia, surrounded by higher mountains. The Mongolian plateau is between 1,000 and 1,500 meters above sea level. The Yellow Sea, the largest body of water closest to the border, nearly 800 kilometers. Due to its location deep in the interior of Eurasia, humid monsoon from the Pacific Ocean, it is difficult to transport water vapor to the hinterland of the Mongolian plateau. The Mongolian plateau is close to southern Siberia, great influence on the local climate and population carrying capacity. Every year from August, days are getting shorter in North Asia. Winter is approaching. Arctic Ocean. After the polar dry and cold air pour into Siberia, temperatures continue to drop. Cold air gathering over Siberia. Temperatures are even lower than the air over the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean ice can radiate heat, and the cold tundra of Siberia. Less heat dissipation. September to April of the following year, Siberia forms a large-scale dry-cooled high-pressure air mass spread to northern Eurasia. In particular, a massive southward invasion of the Mongolian created plateau, a cold and dry winter climate in Mongolia. Dry and cold low-level air in Siberia into the lower valleys of the Mongolian plateau. Long-term retention with the basin, causing unbearably cold winters in northern Mongolia. The further south, the temperature softens slightly. Average temperature in Mongolia in January as low as -30 degrees Celsius. The reality is more extreme. In the long winter, cold wave blizzard may sweep across the country without warning. Temperature drop in 24 hours, up to 30 degrees Celsius. Extreme low temperature in northern winter, often below -40 degrees Celsius. Affected by this climate, all rivers and lakes in Mongolia will be a total sensation in winter. Small rivers are even completely frozen to the bottom. This leads to the territory and the lake for shipping most of the year. with agricultural irrigation. The capital Ulaanbaatar is unparalleled only 3.5 months, from mid-May to the end of August. The average annual temperature is as low as -2,9 degrees Celsius city in the world. But Mongolia's climate is extremely contrasting. In the short summer, temperatures could soar to 38 degrees Celsius in the south. The highest temperature in the capital can also reach 33 degrees Celsius. In addition to the extreme temperature difference of extreme cold in winter, rainfall in Mongolia is also extremely rare. The Mongolian plateau is towering, blocked by mountains, almost cut off the water and gas transmission in all directions. The majestic Himalayas in the south, Kunlun Mountains block water vapor on the south side. Western Altai Mountains, Mongolian Altai Mountains, and the Gobi Altai Mountains and other mountains intercept the west water vessel. After the airflow carrying water vapor over these mountains, water vapor falls mostly in the form of snowfall on the mountains. On the Mongolian side, it was dry when it arrived on the Mongolian plateau. The entire winter from September to April each year, Siberian dry and cold high pressure entrenched in Mongolian plateau. All low pressure warm stone airflow. The sky is clear all year round. This also makes Mongolia a global sunshine, one of the most abundant countries. The average number of sunny and cloudless days per year is 257 days, known as the country of eternal blue sky. But the price is that there is almost no rain throughout the winter. We'll only bring snow with Siberian winds. With frost. Summer from May to August every year. Siberian cold high weakens and is difficult to withdraw. A small amount of warm stone airflow infiltrate the Mongolian plateau from the north. Therefore, the overall rainfall in northern Mongolia is higher than that in the south. But the northern precipitation also highly concentrated. In the 3 months when the high pressure is weakest, from June to August, the rest of the time is equally dry and less rainy, same as the rest of the country. Rainfall is extremely erratic even in summer, hard to predict. This climatic feature created the vast southeast of the Mongolian plateau, the Gobi Desert. Overall, Mongolia has a cold climate, dry and windy. The southern 1/3 of the country is cold and arid desert. The rest of the area is mostly frigid arid grassland. The grassland is endless, only a small amount of forest cover in the north. Subject to all the above conditions, only 0.4% of Mongolia's land is suitable for cultivation. Develop agriculture. Exclude Pacific Island countries and small city-states. Only Djibouti in the world. Cultivated land in 3 countries of Iceland and Oman. The proportion is lower than that of Mongolia. Although Mongolia's land area ranked 18 has in the world, but its available arable land, even far less than the land area, is only 1/54 of its. Albania. This means large-scale development and settlement in the Mongolian plateau. Farming civilization fundamentally does not have realistic conditions. On the other hand, Guangmao's open grassland, on the contrary, is extremely suitable for the prelude to stalking nomads. Livestock can move freely, far more than settled farming. Build cities better suited to the local environment. Herders can bring livestock. Beautiful women and yurts live by water and grass. Move to suitable pastures with the seasons. Winter herders move to mountain river valleys, relying on the mountains to block the Siberian wind. In summer, they move to the open grassland to raise livestock, stock forage. Because of this, for thousands of years, the people of the Mongolian plateau have always lived by nomads. This way of life, solidified by the local unchanging geographical climate. To this day, Mongolia still has about 65% of its territory as pasture. Nearly 1/3 of the country's population still carries on their ancestors, passed down for thousands of years. But nomadic livelihoods in Mongolia have always been difficult. Although winter is sunny and cloudless, blizzard freezing and disasters happen from time to time. Once the Siberian blizzard passes, often cause mass death of herders' livestock, or freeze to death. Either the grass is covered with post-flood. Livestock can be killed all the time. Winter tahun 2009 to 2010. Mongolia hit by heavy snowstorm. More than 8 million livestock killed. Countless herdsmen went bankrupt. Forced to abandon nomadic, travel to the national capital Ulaanbaatar to make a living. Frequent extreme snowstorms and drought disasters in the Mongolian plateau. Also a local for thousands of years. Important reasons for sticking to a nomadic life. Once natural disasters destroy grasslands, cause massive livestock deaths. Herdsmen who have lost their livelihoods can only travel far away. New pastures. The Mongolian steppe. This is horizontal, part of the Eurasian steppe across Eurasia. This grassland sucks up Europe, Hungary, east to Northeast Asia. Continuous. Pre-industrial age. Gunma flat Eurasian steppe. Like a natural land canal. Horseback riding nomads who live by water and grass can be fast. Long-distance migration. Partial grassland encounters climate disasters. Herdsmen will go to other areas of the grassland and even further afield. Because of this, in human history, the Eurasian steppe has become the migration of countless nomads and the birthplace of foreign expeditions, continuously launch an impact on the surrounding settled farming civilization. In the 1990-an, Mongolia's economy is rapidly liberalizing. Shift to a free market economy. Just in time, global fashion industry demand for cashmere usher in explosive growth. Today's global cashmere industry market value up to billions of dollars. Mongolian herdsmen out of policy control. They have switched from traditional sheep farming to goat farming in order to seize the cashmere market dividend. Over time, Mongolia becomes the world's second largest cashmere producer. Supply accounts for about 40% of the global total, but also pay a heavy ecological cost compared to sheep. Goats are extremely destructive to grassland ecology. Goats gnaw through their roots when they gnaw on pasture, causes the grass to not regenerate. Goats' feet are sharper, will destroy the topsoil, coupled with the perennial strong winds in the grassland. Easily lead to land desertification. This phenomenon directly leads to sandstorms in Mongolia. Air pollution, land desertification, drought disasters are becoming more frequent. The living environment of livestock is getting worse. In superimposing global climate change impacts, the desolate Gobi Desert is expanding northward at a rate of 6 to 7 km per year, continuously encroaching on the grasslands on which herders depend. Domestic extreme weather events have also increased significantly. Before 2000, Mongolia has annual drought, blizzard, extreme high temperature and low temperature, and other disasters. About that number has nearly doubled since tahun 2000. Over 40 per year. Increasingly frequent extreme weather. The expanding Gobi Desert, forcing more and more rural nomads to lose their livelihoods. Displacement. In ancient times, this situation often leads to mass migration of nomads. Even a reenactment of Genghis Khan's Taiji Western Expedition, Southern Expedition, but in modern society. Herders who lost their pastures only from the remote grasslands that account for 99.7% of the country gather in Ulaanbaatar, which accounts for only 0.3% of the country. Now the suburbs of Ulaanbaatar can be seen everywhere, a settlement built from traditional yurts. It is the visual manifestation of this population migration. Climate change. It also restricts the development of Mongolia in other ways. One of the most prominent is the conundrum caused by the melting of the permafrost. Almost all of Mongolia is underground, are distributed with permafrost. The soil is completely frozen in winter. Summer surface thawing. This geological environment is the hardest to develop on Earth. One of the landforms of infrastructure building on moving soil. Once the summer soil thaws, settles and collapses, the foundation will become unstable and deformed, building wall cracking and collapse. Highway, airport, runway, undulation, deformation. The pipeline rupture and damage are even more serious. Since 1940, Mongolia's warming rate far exceeds the global average. The average annual temperature has risen by at least 1.8 degrees Celsius. This only exacerbates the local drought. It also greatly accelerated the thawing of the permafrost. If you do not invest high-cost continuous maintenance, highways in Mongolia, railway pipeline, all fixed infrastructure such as airport, residential buildings will continue to be damaged by thawing permafrost. This further limits Mongolia's urban construction in areas outside the capital, with population capacity